American crime wave in Los Angeles. The police are telling residents, do not wear nice jewelry, don't drive fancy cars unless you want to get mugged. And the department issued an area safety bulletin over the disturbing trend of follow home robberies. The alert says, quote, be cautious of displaying high value property in public, such as purses, watches, and jewelry, and that victims have also been targeted based on the type of vehicle they're driving. And now even worse news. A letter sent to the editors over at the LA Times says, according to the math, the George Gascón recall effort is doomed. Joining us now is former California Republican Party Chair Tom Del Beccaro. Tom, thanks for being here. I want to get your response to the news that George Gascón is most likely not going to be recalled, especially after Chesa Boudin was recalled. There was some hope in Los Angeles. Now it seems that's going out the window. Your thoughts?
Well, I'd caution with that. The initial numbers showed that it was going to be on the ballot. Now they have to go through it in a more thorough fashion. The LA Times is obviously highly partisan, so I would wait this one out. But what is true is months ago, the head of the police union said they couldn't guarantee the safety of travelers. And that remains so. And this latest thing, and by the way, I'm up in Northern California. I had a friend driving from San Francisco in a nice car, and she was followed for 23 miles before she shook the person by basically parking in the center of town. This is a dangerous precedent that's happening in California, and people need to be vigilant, sadly, because the police aren't allowed to do their jobs.
Now, Tom, some of Gascón's own deputies are suing him for permission to charge repeat offenders to the fullest extent of the law. And according to Fox 11 Los Angeles, quote, taxpayers are now on the hook as Gascón brings in the nation's highest paid attorney to fight this legal battle. What do you think of this?
I mean, that's insanity, because all they're doing is asking to enforce the existing laws. Chesa Boudin got recalled because he wouldn't apply felony gun charges in 75% of the cases where they were used illegally. 75% he wouldn't charge them with the felony. And the same is happening in LA. So yes, the people in LA are being taxed to pay for someone to not enforce the law. That's why it's so much trouble. And by the way, the governor, Gavin Newsom, said, well, he's uncertain. He hasn't followed the job that Gascón is doing. How ridiculous is that? Keep in mind, LA County is bigger than 42 states by population. So how is it Gavin Newsom, who wants to be president, isn't even aware of the job that's
to that
being
point,
done?
Tom, he made that comment in Washington, D.C., just to show how little he knows about the district attorney in his largest city. Now, you mentioned California Governor Gavin Newsom recently ran a hit ad in Florida against Ron DeSantis. This is what he's doing with those sky-high gas prices, crime, homelessness. Now he's taking aim at Texas Governor Greg Abbott by putting this ad in 3 Texas newspapers. It reads, quote, our creator endowed us with the right to life, and yet children lose their right to life every year because of gun violence in California. We work to save those lives. So Gavin Newsom has completely destroyed California. I mean, more people were moving out last year than moving in. And he's taking shots at governors who are trying to protect their states, specifically those border states where you're seeing this surge of migrants. He has a border state of his own, but you barely hear him talking about it. So how out of touch is he? And does he really listen to anybody outside of Sacramento?
No, I mean, it's not clear that he listens to people within Sacramento. Keep in mind that California has been #1 in poverty nationwide for a decade now. 33% of the welfare recipients, only 17% of the population. He is out of touch. And keep in mind, California has the strictest gun control laws in the nation statewide. Chicago, Illinois may have it just for a city, but they have the strictest. And the reason why these gun violence occurs is because so much violence is occurring. If you want to crack down on gun crime, crack down on crime. But he doesn't want to do that because he's running a social justice campaign. So he is out of touch. Inflation is worse here. Gas prices are worse here. And those are the kind of things that people will need to focus on as he tries to move forward to running the nation the California way, which means high poverty, high crime, high inflation.
All right, Tom Del Beccaro, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll check in with you soon.
All right, take care.